Good morning and welcome to our daily devotional from Pilgrim Congregational Church. I'm Patrick Horn. Very glad to have you with us on this Tuesday, October the 17th, 2023. And this week we are reading from Exodus chapter 33. And in the middle of this chapter, or basically the second half of chapter 3 of the book of Exodus. And reading from verse 12 through the end of the chapter, this is the exchange, another intercession that Moses makes on behalf of the people around the question of the Lord's presence. And so I'm going to read the first few verses of this account and offer a few reflections and close us with prayer. Moses said to the Lord, "See, you have said to me, bring up this people, but you have not let me know whom you will send with me. Yet you have said, I know you by name, and you have also found favor in my sight. Now, if I have found favor in your sight, show me your ways so that I may know you and find favor in your sight. Consider too, that this nation is your people." He said, that is, the Lord said, "My presence will go with you and I will give you rest." And he said to him, Moses said, "If your presence will not go, do not carry us up from here. For how shall it be known that I have found favor in your sight, I and your people, unless you go with us? In this way we shall be distinct, I and your people, from every people on the face of the earth." Well, there's several issues here in discussion, but one that is central throughout this portion of the book of Exodus is the question, as I said yesterday, of God's presence and of God's presence with the people. There are a couple of things to keep in mind here. One is the emphasis on the community, the nation, the people. So this takes place, all of this takes place in the context of a community of people. So you have primary characters, and certainly in Moses, you have a central figure. But the figure of Moses is to be understood in the context of a community. This is not a story of, this is not a biography of Moses. This is not simply a story about Moses. This is about the story of a people, and Moses is a central character. There's also a lot of emphasis here, as in other passages from the Hebrew Bible, on the importance of one's name, that is, of being known by one's name. And we're going to talk more about this tomorrow, that is the Lord's name. But here it's the name of Moses that is known by the Lord. And the emphasis here seems to be relationship. That is, to know someone by their name simply means to know them personally. that is, to have had conversations and interactions and exchanges with them in some context. So Moses is known by the Lord. So two very strong concepts here in this passage. One is the concept of community, and the other is the concept of relationship. I read a really good article this morning by an Italian scientist in the New York Times. He is a researcher on the black holes, and he's written and published quite a bit. And this essay talked about the need in the sciences for creative imagination. That is, in order to be able to make progress in the science, that you have to use your imagination. In fact, interestingly, he uses the phrase creative faith at the end of his article. Now, he's not very, he has a dismissive remark about the concept of spirit, which is unfortunate in the middle of the essay. I think he sort of limits spirit to simply non-physical. And what seems to me, I think it's a brilliant essay, but what seems to me to be missing from the essay is an appreciation for how all of this happens, that is, science happens in a community, not just a community of scientists, but a community of people, scientists as a part of a larger community of people, and then the community of creation, as it were, that is, that we are all part of creation. And the fundamental concept, I think, that is missing is relationship. That is, the way in which spirit, God's presence with God's people, is to be understood by relationship. That is, spirit is relationship. Spirit is not just the non-physical, it is relationships that involve the physical world. This, of course, is a struggle, as we've said, for both Jews and Christians to develop an appreciation for the nature of God and God's presence. But I think it's helpful to understand that it's fundamentally a presence of relationship. Let's close with this word of prayer from W.E. Orchard. O God, who has made all things and orders all things to fulfill thy purposes, we whom thou hast created to be free and choose the good, turn again to thee. For our freedom is found only in thy service, and there is no good that we desire beside thee. It cannot be that thou hast created what thou cannot govern, yet we have been strangely willful and rebellious. We have wrestled all night with one who would overcome us, and then in the morning light have seen thy face and learned thy name. We have closed our door against an entreating voice to find that light and joy have departed from us. Surely thou wilt not leave us because we fought against thee. We did not know with whom we strove. Take not our refusal for an answer, but have pity on our misguided minds. Can it be that thou hast created a capacity that thou cannot satisfy, that these hearts must forever hunger and never be filled, these eyes strain to watch for a glory that they can never behold? O God, none but thyself, not thy gifts, but thee we crave. Thus we lift to thee our broken cries, thus we turn to thee our waiting eyes. If we may not see thee as thou art, then gather thyself into human form, come to us through the night, walk upon the waves of the storm, and bid us be not afraid. If thy love cannot be told, then pour it forth in sacrifice that we may see and understand. So shall our pain be assuaged and our hearts comforted of their sorrows. Like the night enwraps the hills as stars steal into the skies, like a shepherd folds his sheep as a mother stills her child, like calm after storm, rest after battle, hope after fear. O come. Amen. Thank you for joining me this morning from Pilgrim Congregational Church. I'm Patrick Horn, and I hope you have a very good day. Goodbye.